The night was quiet in the small kingdom of Loria, but the air felt heavy. The moon shone bright above the castle walls, casting shadows that danced across the cobblestone streets. People whispered to each other in hushed tones, careful not to be overheard in every home. Behind closed windows, fear lived like an unwelcome guest. The reason for this fear was the same for every man, woman, and child. King Nicholas. King Nicholas had not always been king. Years ago, when his older brother, King Adrian, ruled, Loria was a peaceful place. The market was filled with laughter, the fields were green, and the people walked with their heads high. But when King Adrian fell ill and died suddenly, Nicholas took the throne. From the first day, the people knew something had changed. His eyes were cold, like a man who cared nothing for the hearts of others. His smile was thin and cruel. The first sign of his wickedness came just weeks after his coronation. He raised the taxes so high that farmers could barely keep enough grain for themselves. Those who could not pay were beaten or thrown into the castle dungeons. Entire families disappeared, and their homes were given to the king's loyal soldiers. The people began to call him Nicholas the Cruel behind his back, though they dared not say it where he could hear. The king surrounded himself with guards, not to protect him from outside enemies, but to keep his own people in fear. They patrolled the streets day and night, carrying spears and wearing black armor. If a merchant sold bread for less than the king's set price, the bread was seized and the merchant was whipped in the public square. If a farmer hid grain to feed his children, his farm was burned. Nicholas lived in luxury while his people starved. The royal kitchen overflowed with roasted meats, sweet fruits, and fine wines. He threw banquets almost every night, inviting only those who praised him without question. Laughter and music filled the castle hall, but outside the gates, mothers sat on cold floors, trying to calm hungry children with nothing but water to drink. The wicked king had another cruel habit. He loved to watch people suffer for his amusement. Once, when a poor man pleaded for mercy after failing to pay his tax, Nicholas ordered him to dance in the marketplace all day in the hot sun. If he stopped, the guards beat him. The king sat on a balcony above, sipping wine, laughing with his advisors. Despite his cruelty, the king feared one thing: rebellion. He knew that if the people united against him, even his guards could not save him. To prevent this, he ordered that no one could gather in groups of more than 3 in public. He banned meetings in the town hall and placed spies in the marketplace to listen for any sign of uprising. In a small village on the edge of Loria, a young blacksmith named Daniel lived with his sister, Leah. Daniel was strong and skilled with his hands, but his heart was even stronger. He had watched the kingdom's suffering grow worse each year and could no longer stay silent. His father had died after being whipped by the king's soldiers for hiding a sack of flour. His mother had fallen ill soon after and passed away. Daniel knew it was time to act, even if it cost him his life. Late one night, Daniel gathered a few trusted friends: a farmer named Elias, a healer named Mira, and a merchant named Jonah. They met in an abandoned barn, speaking in whispers. "This cannot continue," Daniel said. "If we wait, more will die. My father, your brother, your children. Nicholas will not stop until we have nothing left." Elias nodded grimly. "But how do we fight a king? His guards are everywhere." "We start small," Daniel replied. "We give food to those who have none. We protect each other. And when the time comes, we rise together." The group agreed, and so began a quiet resistance. Daniel and his friends smuggled bread from the merchant's store to starving families. Mira tended to the sick in secret, using herbs hidden in her clothes. Elias shared grain from his harvest, even though it meant risking his own life. Words of their kindness spread quietly through the villages, giving people hope. But hope was dangerous under King Nicholas. One day, a spy overheard a woman thanking Daniel for a loaf of bread. The news reached the king's ears. Nicholas was furious. "So there are those who dare defy me," he hissed. "Bring this blacksmith to me. I want him to understand what happens to traitors." The guards raided Daniel's home, but he was not there. Leah, his sister, tried to stand in their way, but they pushed her aside and burned the house to the ground. Daniel, hiding in the woods nearby, watched in silent rage. He knew then that there was no turning back. That night, Daniel sent word to every village: the time has come. We meet at the old bridge at dawn. The message traveled in whispers and hidden notes. Men and women, young and old, prepared whatever weapons they could find: hammers, pitchforks, kitchen knives. When the sun rose, hundreds of people stood at the bridge. Daniel climbed onto a cart so they could see him. For years we have suffered under the rule of Nicholas the Cruel, he shouted. He has taken our homes, our food, our families. Today we take back what is ours. Crowd roared with agreement. Together, they marched toward the castle. Nicholas, looking out from his balcony, laughed when he saw them. Fools, he said, they think they can stand against me. He sent his guards to stop them. But the people were too many. They pushed forward, shouting for freedom. The battle was fierce. The guards fought hard, but the people's anger was stronger than their fear. By midday, the castle gates were broken open. Daniel led the charge into the throne room, where Nicholas sat, still wearing his crown. You dare bring war to your king? Nicholas spat. You were never our king. Daniel said, a king protects his people. You only destroyed them. Nicholas reached for his sword, but before he could swing, two villagers grabbed him. The crowd filled the throne room, their voices rising. What shall we do with him? Someone asked. Banish him, shouted one. Let him live, as we have hungry and homeless, cried another. In the end, the people decided to cast Nicholas out of Loria forever. Without his guards or riches, he was forced to wander the land, alone and powerless. Under Daniel's leadership, the people rebuilt their homes and shared their harvests. The market once again filled with laughter and music. The memory of Nicholas's cruelty lingered, but it served as a reminder: a kingdom's strength is not in its crown, but in the hearts of its people. And so, Loria healed, free at last from the rule of a wicked king. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.